As soon as Smith got home, he saw his father hide an $800,000 designer bag and replace it with a tattered cloth bag. Smith thought he had seen it wrong. How could there be luxury bags in their house? Little did he know that his parents were billionaires worth hundreds of billions. The reason they did this was to toughen up their son, so that Smith could eventually inherit their vast fortune. Now, Smith had successfully graduated from an Ivy League school. That day, he was about to go out to look for a job. After his parents kindly saw him off, they immediately transformed, getting into a globally limited edition Rolls-Royce and started monitoring Smith's actions. At this point, Smith had no idea that his father had specially tailored an entrepreneurial plan for him. When Smith just arrived at the interview company's entrance, he saw the company's chairman suddenly collapse at the door from an illness. He quickly rushed over to help the chairman, but once the chairman entered the company, his illness miraculously disappeared. To thank Smith for his help, the chairman was willing to fund Smith's startup. Smith's eyes instantly lit up with excitement. Smith then contacted a few of his schoolmates, hoping to invite them to start the business together. Unexpectedly, before Smith could speak, his classmates volunteered to join Smith's company. Smith was deeply touched. Little did he know, behind the scenes, his father had already offered his classmates a salary of $1 million a year. Smith took his classmates to the company location, but soon, a bigger problem arose. The company's environment was poor. There was even no air conditioning, so no applicants were willing to stay. This made his mother, who was watching the surveillance, extremely anxious, while his father said it was all part of the test he had set for Smith. At that moment, a beautiful woman suddenly walked into the company. It turned out to be Smith's girlfriend. Although his girlfriend was the daughter of a millionaire, she didn't mind that Smith was poor. She was willing to join Smith in starting the business. But after waiting for the whole afternoon, all the interviewees rejected the offer. Helpless, Smith had no choice but to deliver takeout to earn money for the company's air conditioning. His father, seeing this, was very pleased and immediately instructed his staff to carry out the next step of the plan. Meanwhile, Smith arrived at a company to deliver takeout. He did not expect that the person ordering takeout was none other than William, a top-tier programmer from the country. Just then, William's boss appeared and scolded William for ordering takeout during work hours. He threatened to fire William, but William wasn't upset at all and directly agreed to leave. His boss pretended to be angry and said he would blacklist William from the entire industry. Smith saw this and realized it was his chance. He quickly stopped William and nervously asked if he would be willing to join his small company. To his surprise, William immediately agreed. Smith took William back to the company. He first showed William the code he had written. William casually glanced at it and was shocked to find that Smith's code was impressive. Originally, he thought Smith was just a rich playboy, but now he realized Smith was highly skilled. At that moment, colleagues returned to the company and were surprised to see William. They immediately recognized him and realized he had been specially invited by Smith's father to join the company. After William briefly understood the company situation, he said they still needed at least 4 more programmers. Smith was troubled by this, but just then, William said he had a few friends who were also recently fired. Soon, 4 top-tier programmers arrived at the company. Each one of them had a salary of over $500,000 at their previous companies. Yet, they were all eager to sign a $5,000 annual contract with Smith. Thus, Smith's company was able to run smoothly. However, that very afternoon, a group of people suddenly stormed into the company. At the front was a man who acted arrogantly. He turned out to be the girlfriend's admirer, the CEO of a local company. He was jealous that Smith, despite being poor, still won the affection of his girlfriend and came to disrupt Smith's company. But as soon as the CEO entered, he noticed that despite the company not even having air conditioning, Smith had managed to attract Ivy League graduates. He immediately invited the colleagues to join his company with a salary of $20,000 a month. But to his surprise, the classmates declined without hesitation. They told Smith they would never betray him. At that moment, William and the other top programmers looked at the CEO, seemingly mocking his ignorance. The CEO was shocked. He immediately had an idea. He would buy Smith's company and make everyone in the company his employees. He offered Smith $1 million to acquire the company. Unexpectedly, Smith rejected it outright and told the CEO to leave. The CEO was furious but didn't give up. Even if Smith refused, he had other ways to take the company. He stormed out but immediately saw a luxury car parked outside. He recognized the car's owner right away, someone worth hundreds of billions. It was Smith's parents. They immediately scolded the CEO, and he realized Smith's true identity. He quickly apologized to Smith's parents. At this moment, he still didn't know that the legendary life of Smith had just begun.